If you can't handle my past, maybe you should leave, she said when her ex showed up at her door with flowers. Good idea, I said. Grabbed my keys and left. Her past cheated on her again within a month, and she came crawling back. I didn't answer the door. Some people belong in the past. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I met Sarah 2 years back through mutual friends at a casual get-together in our mid-sized city. She was this vibrant, outgoing type, always the center of attention with her quick wit and that laugh that could light up a room. Me? I'm Alex, mid-30s, work in tech as a software engineer. Steady job, good pay, nothing flashy, but I've always prided myself on being reliable. The guy who shows up, you know? And that's exactly what drew her to me, or so she said at the start. Our relationship kicked off strong. Sarah had just come out of a messy breakup with her ex, Jake. From what she told me, he was this charming salesman type, always traveling, full of big promises, but a total flake. Cheated on her multiple times, left her heartbroken and doubting herself. I was there for all of it. Late nights on the phone while she cried, helping her block him on everything, even driving her to therapy sessions when she decided to work on herself. I didn't push, I just supported. When she lost her job as a marketing coordinator during a company downsizing, I covered rent for a few months without making a big deal about it. Cooked meals, planned low-key dates to cheer her up, picnics in the park, movie nights at home. I sacrificed weekends I could have spent hiking or gaming with buddies to be there for her. Flashback to one night, maybe 6 months in. She's curled up on the couch, tears streaming, clutching her phone after Jake tried sliding into her DMs again. Why does he keep coming back? Am I that easy to mess with? She sobbed. I held her, said, You're not. You're strong. And he's just a loser who can't let go. That night, she told me I was the first guy who made her feel safe. I believed it. Hell, I lived it. But over time, cracks started showing. Sarah never fully cut Jake out. She'd mention him casually. Oh, Jake texted about that old concert we went to, and brush off my concerns as me being insecure. She'd post throwback photos on social media, nothing explicit, but stuff like them at a beach from years ago, captioned, Good times #nostalgia. When I'd bring it up, she'd roll her eyes. It's just my past, Alex. Everyone has one. If you're threatened by memories, that's on you. I tried to be understanding. Nobody's perfect, right? But it built up. She'd compare us subtly. Jake was always so spontaneous. We'd just hop in the car and drive somewhere. Meanwhile, I'm the one planning actual trips, but apparently, that was too structured. It felt like emotional whiplash. One day she's all in, the next she's daydreaming about what-ifs. I poured everything into us, thinking loyalty would win out. Looking back, I was her safety net, the guy who fixed what Jake broke, only for her to romanticize the breakage. Things escalated one evening after work. I'd just gotten home to our shared apartment. Nothing fancy, but cozy, with the lease in both our names. I walked in carrying takeout from her favorite Thai place, figuring we'd have a chill night. But there he was, Jake, standing in our living room with a bouquet of roses, looking smug as hell in his button-down and jeans. Sarah was there too, not exactly pushing him away. The air was thick. I could tell I'd interrupted something. What's going on? I asked, setting the food down, trying to keep my voice even. My heart was pounding, but I wasn't about to lose it. Sarah turned to me, her face a mix of defiance and annoyance, like I'd crashed her party. Jake just smirked, leaning against the counter like he owned the place. Jake stopped by, she said casually, as if it was no big deal. We were just talking. Catching up. Catching up. I repeated, glancing at the flowers. With roses? In our apartment. Jake chuckled. Hey, man, no hard feelings. Sarah and I go way back. I ignored him, focusing on her. Sarah, we've talked about this. Boundaries. Why is he here? She crossed her arms, her tone sharpening. Boundaries? Alex, you're acting like a jealous kid. Jake's part of my past. He knows me, the real me, the messy parts. You always want everything neat and tidy. If you can't handle that I have history, maybe this isn't working. History that includes him cheating on you repeatedly. I pointed out, keeping my cool. And now he's here with flowers? Come on. She waved it off. People change. We're just friends now. But if you're going to make a scene every time someone from my life shows up, that's exhausting. I need space to figure things out without you hovering. Figure things out. I echoed. It hit me then. She wasn't just reminiscing. This was her dipping back in. The comparisons, the posts, the excuses. I'd been the placeholder. Yeah, she snapped, her voice rising. You've been great, Alex, really. The stable guy, the fixer. But Jake, he gets the fire in me. The passion. You're comfortable, but sometimes that's just boring. I love you, but I don't know if I'm in love anymore. If my past bothers you this much, maybe you should leave. Find someone without baggage. There it was, the line that still echoes. If you can't handle my past, maybe you should leave. She said it with this smug tilt to her head, like she was doing me a favor by pointing out my flaw. Jake nodded along, all supportive, but I could see the glee in his eyes. It was dismissive, cruel, like my 2 years of loyalty meant nothing next to her history. No apology, no real explanation. Just twisted logic. Her unresolved mess was my problem, and if I couldn't deal, tough luck. I stood there for a beat, the room silent except for the hum of the fridge. Part of me wanted to argue, to lay out every sacrifice, every night I held her together. But what was the point? Begging? No, that wasn't me. Good idea, I said simply, my voice steady. I grabbed my keys from the hook by the door, slipped on my jacket, and walked out. No yelling, no slamming doors. Just detachment. I heard her call after me. Alex, wait, that's not what I meant. But I didn't look back. Jake probably high-fived her or something. I drove to a buddy's place that night, crashed on his couch, and started planning my exit. That was it, the breakup. No drawn-out fight, just her cruelty laid bare, and me choosing dignity over drama. I didn't block her right away. I wanted to handle the logistics first. But emotionally, I was already gone. The next few days were a blur of quiet efficiency. I texted her the basics. I'll be by tomorrow to grab my stuff while you're at work. She responded with a flurry of messages, first confused, what? You're really leaving? Then defensive, fine, if that's how you want to be. I kept it minimal, no engagement. When I showed up, I packed my clothes, books, the tech gadgets that were mine. Left the shared stuff like the couch we'd bought together. Didn't want the reminder. I even transferred the utilities out of my name and paid my half of the next month's rent as a courtesy. Then I found a short-term rental in another part of the city, nothing permanent yet, just space. Those first weeks alone hit hard. I'd lie awake, replaying it all. The confusion. How could she throw away what we had for a guy who'd already proven he was trash? The unfairness. I'd given up promotions that required travel because she hated being alone, skipped trips with friends to be her support system. Flashback to last Christmas. I'd surprised her with a weekend getaway, and she'd gushed about how thoughtful I was. Now, irrelevant. I felt like a fool, questioning if I should have seen the signs earlier. The silence was deafening. No more daily texts, no shared meals. I sat with the pain, let it breathe. Didn't drown it in booze or rebounds. Instead, I journaled, a habit from my college days. Wrote out the red flags, the comparisons, the gaslighting. It helped shift from vulnerable to clear-headed. I threw myself into work. Landed a promotion I'd been eyeing, better pay, remote options that let me travel a bit. Started hitting the gym regularly, not for revenge body BS, but because it cleared my mind. Reconnected with old friends I'd neglected. We hiked on weekends, played pickup basketball, even tried therapy for a few sessions. The counselor nailed it. You were loyal to a fault, but now you're learning boundaries. My internal voice evolved. No more, what if I could have fixed it? Instead, I deserve better than being a backup. I unblocked her after a month, but only for practical reasons like mail forwarding. Didn't reach out. Didn't stalk her socials. Just detached. About a month after I left, the karma train rolled in. I'd heard bits through the grapevine. Mutual friends who weren't fully in her camp started reaching out with, "Hey, you okay?" texts that hinted at more. I didn't pry at first. I was focused on my own life. But eventually, the full picture emerged, pieced together from a couple of coffee meetups with those friends and some unavoidable social media glimpses. I hadn't blocked everyone yet. Turns out, Sarah had jumped right back into things with Jake. Moved in with him almost immediately after I left. Our apartment lease got broken early, and she packed up like it was an upgrade. She posted about it too, subtle but smug. Pics of them at dinners, captions like "rediscovering old flames #second chances." Our shared circle ate it up at first, congratulating her on following her heart. But Jake? Same old story. Within weeks, he was back to his ways, flirting with coworkers, late nights, working, the whole cheater playbook. One of our mutual friends, Lisa, told me over drinks. It blew up fast. She caught him texting some girl from his sales team, denied it at first, but then he just shrugged and said, "This is who I am, babe. You knew that." Sarah tried to make it work, from what I heard, begged him to change, just like she had before we met. But he bailed, ghosted her after a big fight, left her with half the rent on his place and a bunch of his crap. She lost her job around then too. Turns out, she'd been slacking at work, distracted by the drama, and got let go during a performance review. Friends started distancing themselves when the truth came out. Jake had been bad-mouthing her to cover his tracks, and people remembered how she'd ditched me so callously. Her reputation took a hit. The vibrant girl became the cautionary tale. Isolated, broke, posting vague sad quotes online about lessons learned. It was outrageous how fast it unraveled, but plausible. History repeating itself because she refused to learn from it. I didn't gloat. I just noted it as confirmation that I'd dodged a bullet. That's when the attempt started. At first, it was a single text, about 5 weeks post-breakup. "Hey Alex, hope you're doing well. Can we talk? I miss our chats." I read it, felt a twinge of that old confusion, but deleted it without replying. Then came the calls, voicemails piling up. The first real dialogue hit via phone one evening while I was cooking dinner in my new place. My phone buzzed. It was her. I answered, figuring closure might be clean. "Alex? Oh God, you picked up. Thank you," she said, her voice shaky, like she'd been crying. "What do you want, Sarah?" I kept it neutral, stirring pasta on the stove. I messed up. Jake was a mistake. He cheated again, just like before. I'm so sorry. I realize now you were the good one, the stable one. I took you for granted." I paused, letting the words hang. Her hypocrisy was thick. Now stability was a virtue? "Okay," I said simply. "Okay, that's it. Alex, please. I need you. Things are falling apart. Lost my job. Friends are ghosting me. Remember how you always fix things? We can start over. I love you." "Love?" I echoed, calm. "You said you weren't in love anymore. That I was boring. I was wrong. Stressed, confused. Jake manipulated me, made me think. No." I cut in firmly. No anger, just fact. "You chose that. Manipulated yourself with excuses. I'm not your fixer anymore." She sniffled. "But we had good times. The picnics, the support. Don't you miss that?" "I miss what I thought we had," I admitted, but my tone stayed detached. "Not this." The call ended with her pleading, "Think about it? Please." I hung up, blocked the number temporarily. But she escalated, switched to email, then roped in her friends and family. A week later, my phone rang from an unknown number. It was her sister, Emily, always toxic, the type to enable Sarah's worst impulses. "Alex, it's Emily. Sarah's a wreck because of you. She told me everything. How could you just walk out like that?" "Everything," I replied evenly. "Did she mention inviting Jake over with flowers? Telling me to leave if I couldn't handle her past?" Emily huffed. "That's not the point. She's hurting now. Jake screwed her over, and you're being heartless. Family sticks together. Come talk to her. Be the bigger person." "I'm not family anymore," I said, "and I'm protecting my peace. Tell her to move on." Emily got unpleasant fast. "You're cold, you know that? No wonder she went back to Jake. At least he has passion." Click, I hung up. Then came the group effort. 2 of her friends messaged me on social media, guilting. "Sarah's changed. Give her a chance." One even showed up at my old gym, cornering me. "Dude, she's desperate. Crying every night. You owe her closure." "I don't owe anything," I said calmly, walking away. Sarah's attempts amped up after that. More texts from burner numbers. "Why are you ignoring me? This isn't you." Then voicemails turning desperate to angry. One standout. "Alex, pick up. I know you're seeing these. Jake left me with nothing. Evicted, broke. You said you'd always be there. How can you abandon me now? You're just like him." The shift was clear, from remorse to rage, her true colors bleeding through, blaming me for her consequences, like I'd forced her hand. It revealed the power reversal. She was unraveling, while I was building. By then, I'd fully moved on. New apartment in a quieter neighborhood, Promotion locked in, even started dating casually. A woman named Mia from my hiking group, kind and drama-free. Life felt light, unburdened. The final encounter came about 3 months after the breakup. I'd thrown a small housewarming. Nothing big, just a few friends, Mia included, grilling on the balcony, laughs echoing. Doorbell rang. I opened it, and there was Sarah, disheveled, hair messy, eyes red, clutching a bag like she'd rushed over. Behind me, the party hummed. She could see the contrast, my thriving life versus her chaos. "Alex," she breathed, stepping forward. "I had to see you. Please, let me in. I realize now, you were everything. Jake was toxic, but we can fix this. I'll change. No more past, just us." I stood in the doorway, blocking her view slightly, voice firm and even. "Sarah, no." Her face crumpled. "Why? I love you. I'm sorry for everything. The comparisons, the dismissal. I was smug, stupid. But look at me. I'm alone, lost my job, friends hate me. You have to help." I shook my head, detached. "I don't have to do anything. You made your choices. Told me to leave if I couldn't handle your past. Well, I left. And I've built something better without it." She glanced past me, spotting Mia laughing with friends. "Who's that?" "Already replaced me." "Not replaced," I corrected calmly. "Moved on. This is my future now. Peace, growth, people who value me. You're irrelevant to that. Your drama, your excuses, they don't touch me anymore." Tears welled. "That's cruel. After all we had." "No cruelty," I said, realist mode kicking in. "Just facts. You belong in the past, Sarah. Like you said, some people do." She opened her mouth, anger flashing. "You think you're better now? With your little party?" But I closed the door gently, definitively. Locked it. Turned back to my guests, the moment already fading. Edit. Update a year later. I'm engaged to Mia now, real partnership, no baggage. Sarah? Last I heard, she's bouncing between jobs, still posting about growth. Blocked her everywhere. Life's good when you let go. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.